Hi, my name is Mico, and today we're going to take a look at the new arrival 2016 BMW X5 40e. This is basically the plug-in hybrid version of the X5, the first one, the first car of this kind that we got. So we're going to do a quick walk around. There's not really a lot to see outside. There are a couple of things. Obviously the car is badged differently. The badges, there's a badge that says eDrive on the back, which is similar to the i3, i8 badges. There is a badge on the side that says xDrive 40e. And the last thing that's different is that, well, two things. One, the third row seat is not available because this space that's down there, it's taken by the battery and electric powertrain. So normally you either get the third row that's folded or you get an extra storage. Here, there's nothing else. There's really small storage where the occasionally used charger is in. So that's the bad news. The good news is that you get upgraded suspension standard. Normally you get it with the third row seat because of the extra weight. With this car, it's standard. And another thing really quickly, the charging port. Obviously this is different from other cars. This is where you plug in your level 2 charger. So there's level 1 and level 2. Fast charging is not available as far as right now. Let's get into the car and we'll drive it. Alright, so let's start it up and we'll talk about what we have here. So this car is basically a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and there are two engines, two powertrains. There is the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, same engine as you get in the 3 Series, 328, 428, 528, the X3 28i, and this is the first time this engine is this car. And there's an electric powertrain. The combination, the way it's built, is somewhat similar to the i8, but not exactly the same because this is an all-wheel drive version. So all wheels are powered when needed. So two powertrains work together. The combined power, electric and the gas, you get 308 horsepower, about 330 pounds of torque. Just the gas engine is the same as all other cars with this engine, is 240 and 265. The electric range is set at 13 miles on electric only, so it's not a lot, but again, that's a hybrid, so you don't need to charge it up. You can just drive on the full tank. It's a huge tank, about 23 gallons. And the estimation on gas only combined mileage is 26 miles per gallon. But if you combine it with electric, so MPG E rating is about 55, which is pretty amazing for a car this side and this type. So far I've been driving. We're still in electric mode. This is the really first time I'm driving this car. We have the display here for electric, just like my old hybrid. I had a 3 Series hybrid, and this one shows me the percentage of the charge. Here we have one difference. There's an eDrive mode. So there are three modes. When I push this, I have the modes. There's an auto eDrive, max eDrive, and save battery mode. Auto eDrive is just automatic mode. It basically responds to my input. Max eDrive will try to maximize and use electric as much as possible. It uses data from real-time traffic information and from the navigation topography map to see what's the most efficient way, when they should use the battery, when they should not use the battery. Save battery mode basically maximizes the battery for the city driving. So when you're on the highway, you put save battery. It'll take the battery charge to at least 50% and keep it there. If it was higher than 50, just not going to use the battery at all. So you can use the battery in the city. Again, it's a different thinking with these cars because normally you get much better gas mileage on the highway. But this one with electric powertrain, you get better mileage in the city because you can just use electric only. Most drivers, just average driver of this car, it'll be just a few miles in the city, picking up kids, going to the store. As we know, not a lot of people take these cars off-road, and weekend trips are just that. That's a weekend trip. So let's see which mode we're in. I think we were in, okay, I don't want the safe battery, auto drive. Let's just try max eDrive. And I'm gonna try the eco mode. So same modes as regular driving dynamics. There's a Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro. So right now this is the Eco Pro mode. I cannot check the Eco Pro route because the navigation is not on, otherwise it will do that for me. So there's a bunch of readings here, tells me it's Eco Pro, Max E-Drive, so all my settings are right there. This reading, the board computer right now shows the mileage, I'm sorry, not the mileage, the percentage of the charge. So we started at about 81%, we're down to 86. And again, I'm just trying to see what it feels like. So far, there's power is okay. I'm not restraining myself by driving like I would be driving in the city. The electric mode only, again, it goes for 13 miles. The speed limit is 75 miles an hour. So if you go faster, just the gas engine will kick in, that will give you more power. So we're gonna go for another block just to see what it feels like, and then we're gonna try to get on the highway and see what's the actual performance is like, because it is a kind of heavy car. 308 horsepower should be fine. Plus, there should be a plus of the instantaneous electric torque. As you know, electric motors, you don't need to rev it up to get all the torque. So right now the AC is not as aggressive. I'm guessing because I'm in the Eco Pro mode. I'm gonna try to put it back and see if it changes the AC. Usually it changes it pretty fast. No, it works the same. I guess it just the temperature went down inside, so we're good to go. The rest of the technology is the same. You have the same options. Navigation is standard. Heated seats, moonroof, that's all standard. Optional safety features. This car is fully loaded, so it has the city mitigation. Does not have adaptive cruise control, but it has the blind spots and all that stuff. It looks like it's not going to be a high volume car. It's just one of those niche models that will give an option for somebody that's just a city driving, more of a city driving. It will give you an option of zero emission driving. It'll give you better mileage, so it's a more efficient way of having an X5 without having to go up to the diesel. Alright, so we have another couple of blocks. About the charging, so you saw in the back there's an occasional use charger. It could be plugged into 110 outlet, any outlet. It takes pretty long time to fully charge it. If you have the level 2 charger, basically the 220 charger, which is standard for all manufacturers except Tesla and I think Mitsubishi, it'll be about 3.5 hours for full charge. And I actually tested it. I found this car today at about 11. Right now it's 140, so we got 90% of charge. So that worked fine. And another plus that, you know, there's no limit on the range. You don't need to think how far it can go. This car can go San Francisco to LA. The range is fine. Let's actually see what the range shows. So right now we have almost full tank. There you go. The range shows 240 miles. And this is assuming 14.8 miles per gallon. So this is assuming pretty low mileage. Right here we have, this is standard display. It looks pretty much like active hybrid, or kind of like not electric car, but same as the active hybrid display. This one shows you the miles per gallon. This one shows you the use of electric. Block until we can open it a little bit. This display, again, this display is familiar to me from the active hybrid. Basically on one side right here it shows you when the vehicle is charging, so when you're braking or coasting it shows you that it's charging. The other way, there are basically 4 settings, or 4 units I guess, as shows you how much you're actually pushing on the accelerator. From my experience, I haven't got there yet, but normally with an active hybrid, if you push further, push harder, then the gas engine kicks in. So we're gonna see if that's gonna happen. I'm guessing yes. The e-boost, that's what we're expecting to feel right now. That's where you have the full power electric and the gas, and we're hoping for instantaneous torque. Alright, so we're going about 20 miles an hour. Now we're going to push it. So I'm still max E drive, so that kind of limits me. Okay, so if I got to do that, but let's just leave it like that and see what happens. So this is max E drive. This is electric only. The engine is not working, and it's pretty impressive for a car this size. I mean, I know it uses a lot of energy. We're just going to see how much it goes down right now. Just going through readings. There you go. So it's down to 72 from 90 when we left the dealership. But it's just fine. There's plenty of power. So now let's change it to auto drive. Now let's go to sport. And we're going 80. It's still very quiet. You really don't hear this engine. I don't know. It's very responsive right now in sport mode. It's a lot of fun to drive. I would say it's definitely, if you drive the 35i or the diesel, you would hear the engine more. Right now we only hear the road noise because I guess it's a quiet engine. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so this was pretty good, and what I'm going to try now, we're going to take this exit and try it a little bit on the hills. So it's still in sport mode, a little bit jumpy. Obviously this display changed and the engine, it keeps running. I'm going to go back to comfort, see what happens. So the engine is still running. I'm guessing it's because I'm driving faster than 45 miles an hour. Let's see if I change this to max E drive. There you go. The engine goes off, and this is electric only. The car feels solid. I don't think I can tell that it's any heavier than a regular car, so no problems there. None of that start-stop. You don't get that feel when the engine shuts down and starts up, because it just doesn't start up. And let's do this again. So let's do auto drive, and we're in comfort. So I'm going to just see what happens now, and we're going to go up the steep hill. Alright, so engine kicked in. You have the full torque. Pretty good car to drive. I'm behind this electric Ford. Alright, so he's out of the way. Still down. So now you can hear the engine. But it definitely doesn't feel like this engine, because this engine, I mean, it'll be a pretty small engine for this type of car. But with the electric, there's absolutely no problem. It doesn't rev up too high. It's still pretty quiet. And yeah, you definitely feel the difference with the electric torque compared to, let's say, the 35i, even 50i. I mean, obviously 50i will be more powerful, but I think the torque delivery in this car is definitely different, and I would guess it's better. Alright, so I think that's it. We tried different modes. We drove for probably about 4 or 5 miles. We're down from 90% to 66. So that's in line with what is promised, even though we're pushing the car pretty hard. So it's a really cool car. I think it's a great option. If you have a way to charge this car, it'll help you save on gas, because again, once you charge it and just for regular daily use, 20-30 mile commute, if you charge it up at night, maybe charge it at work, then you're going to save on gas a lot. Equivalent of 55 miles an hour, and a luxury full-size SUV is pretty impressive. That's it. Thanks for watching.